Hi guys, it's Sam from Bargain.hunting.blonde, and today I am bringing to you part 2 of my Hermes handbag collection. So today is the video I think a lot of you have been waiting for, and that is my Birkins and Kellys. So we're gonna just have to dive in. They are not going to be really in any particular order. I'm gonna try to do like Kellys first and then my Birkins, and I'll try to tell you guys, like I did in my last video, where I bought them. I do not know all the prices of these, but unless I bought them at the store, they were below retail. So that is, you know, a fun fact. When I started collecting these, as I mentioned in my last video, Hermes was not quite as popular. So if you were going for some of those bigger sizes like the Kelly 35, the Birkin 35, you could get some really, really great deals. Those deals are still somewhat there. They don't exist like they used to, but if you guys have been following me during like Black Friday, Cyber Monday time, there was some really great sales from some of the Japanese resellers that I was posting Birkins and Kellys in numerous sizes that were like solidly under retail. Like I don't think I posted anything that was above 7,000, which is a really great price for a Birkin or a Kelly, especially in the quality of the ones that I was posting. So without further ado, we're going to dive in with what I think is actually my second oldest Kelly, but might be the oldest. I bought two at like a very similar time. So it is in this orange dust bag, which is the older Hermes dust bag. I don't really care how old a bag is if it's good quality. And that is this Kelly 35. It is in the gold color, and it is in the Courchevel, which I'm sure I'm saying wrong, leather, which is the precursor to Epsom. This is in the Cellier style, so it does have the outer stitching. It is in very, very good quality, or condition, excuse me. I do believe that the previous owner before me did touch up the corners, which would mean that if I have any issues with this bag, it's going to need to go to like a leather surgeon's or a Rago Brothers or purse rehab, something like that, and not Hermes, because Hermes will not touch a bag once there's been work done to it that they did not do. I bought this before I knew that was a thing and before I thought I would ever be buying in store. So I was just really happy to get this bag. The inside is also in really good condition. The bag overall, like just like Epsom, the older version of it, Courchevel, which I'm sure again I'm saying wrong, just really holds up really well. It does have the key bell and the clay in here, and this does have a strap with it. So at first when I was purchasing, especially Kellys, I was like not worried if they had a strap or not, but I really do like the strap, and so I'm glad that this one has the strap. But as you can tell with this bag and looking at where the handle attaches, this is technically like a Kelly 1. It does not have the extra little attacher for the for the strap. So this is, I believe, my second Kelly that I ever bought. You can see the sangles are a little looser. I've been told like you're supposed to store them all, you know, done up. You're not supposed to. I really don't know. So if anyone has any advice, I know Hermes stores them with them all done up, and then they normally store them in the box. So like this did not come with a box, so I don't store it in the box. And honestly, it's very rigid, so it really doesn't have sagging issues. Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of reaching in this video. I apologize. So this is bag number 2, and this I believe is actually my first Kelly that I ever purchased. I did buy this dust bag on its own for the bag. It did not come with a dust bag, and you guys will see. So this is my Kelly 35 Retourné in black box leather. This is like a super vintage gem. I love box leather, and you guys will see that a lot in my collection. I think it is, even though it marks one of the prettiest leathers of all time, it is super hard wearing, as you guys have seen if you watched part 1. I have a Constance that's from 1973, and she did recently have some work done at the Hermes spa, but she's box leather and she still looks amazing. So if you're someone who like doesn't mind a couple like scratches, which there are scratches on this bag, and because of the sheen of the leather, it's really hard to see. Box is a great way to get into the Hermes bag market without paying a ton of money for a bag. This was, like I said, my first Kelly, so I think I paid, guys, this is crazy. This was 2016. I think I paid about $2,000 or $3,000 from this bag from a Japanese reseller, paid to have it authenticated. It was authentic. It was a great deal, but also like just goes to show you that there was definitely not a demand for these bags back then, and I really think the demand has been hyped up by social media. This did not come with a strap, but it did come with, you can see the key bells on it, and then the lock is on here. I should probably move the lock and stop storing it up there. That's something I used to do with my bags, but as you'll see with my other bags, I don't do that anymore. Just a really pretty bag. Again, the 35. And so something I want to say about the 35 size in general. Maybe this is just because I'm very tall, but at 5'10", a 35 does not look that big on me, regardless of if it's a Kelly or if it's a Birkin. And so I'm like not super size picky, especially on the pre-loved market when I could get them for a steal. So that is my second Kelly. And then my last, this is not my next Kelly, but I just want to show you all my 35s at once, is in just a generic white dust bag. Uh-oh, my little Twilly got a little messed up. She is at the moment not closed. And this is my Kelly 35, which as you can tell, this one looks the biggest. This one's also probably the most worn, in Blanc, so in the white with the palladium hardware, so silver hardware. She is a Kelly too, because she does have these extra little hooks right there, which you guys can see. This is in the Trillium Clemence, which is why you're seeing a lot more of the slouching on this bag versus the box leather. So something to also consider as well. And I do have this one very much stuffed, so maybe I need to take out a little bit of the stuffing. But this bag I got for a steal because, let me show you guys. So someone had replaced the hardware, I think at Hermes, it looks like at Hermes, on the sangles, but had not replaced this. So you can see the knob has some discoloring potentially. Hopefully the camera's kind of picking that up. So I got this one for a steal, more recent than my other 35s, and I think I paid about $3,000 for this one as well. And this bag does have strap. You guys will have seen this kind of recently on my Instagram, because I do like to wear her during the summer. But yes, much more slouchy because of, one, how she was stored before I got her, and two, just the pebbling of the leather is just much more present than you have no pebbling in box. So something to consider. So those are my 3 Kelly 35s. I, again, love them. I think if I was gonna recommend, if you were looking at a 35 and you want them to keep their shape a little more, the Courchevel or the box leather versus the Trillium Clemence, just because of the weight of the leather does make it slouch, unless you love the slouchy look, and then that's totally for you. But yeah, so something to consider. Next up, Kelly-wise, we're gonna throw in, sorry, I'm just like looking at all my bags around me because you can see there's a lot that are missing from behind me. And that is my Kelly Adieu backpack. She is very, very vintage. She is Barenia leather and this like canvas. She does have cloth straps on the back, and then does have like the Kelly lock and the sangles. She was really, really reasonably priced, and that is because there are, and I don't know how well this is gonna pick up. Oh yeah, you can see them. There are some little marks on this part of like the canvas, but this is just a backpack, so I'm not that stressed about it. Also, she has had no work done to her, so I did want this to be cleaned. She could go to the Hermes handbag spa. I haven't really been that worried about it, if we're being honest here, because again, it's a backpack. But I found that this was really fun, and I would love a Kelly or a Birkin in the Barenia with this canvas. I find that's really pretty. You probably have never seen this bag before. This is much more of a like, I'm running errands, I carry it with me bag, than like a take out when I take pictures bag. So you'll see that more and more. I don't think you'd only seen, out of the Kellys I've showed you, one, I think. Just because I have a tendency to carry things and not reveal them on here, and not worry about like taking pictures with them, because that's not why I buy them. I buy them to use them, and if they make it up here on my Instagram, great, and if they don't, it's kind of just what happens. Next, I think we'll do all the 32s, which is my favorite Kelly size. Again, maybe because I am a little taller, but I really do appreciate this size. So let me start out with my project bag. So I have not taken this into Hermes yet, but I got this bag for a steal, and she has not had any work done to her, which is why I think she would be a great candidate for going into the Hermes handbag spa. And I also did get a quote from leather surgeons if I want to go that route as well. So you'll see this is a Kelly 32 in the Retourné in what was the precursor to Swift. Why can I not remember the name of that leather? It is, I'm blanking on it at the moment, but it's basically what Swift is now. So it is a very smooth, very beautiful leather that definitely does mark. And so you will see she has pretty intense wear on her corners, but she has not had any work done to her. So I'm going to bring this in to my Hermes SA and see what the spa will do. She is a very pretty orange color, which I feel like is very Hermes-like. Again, great interior, which is something I always look for. I don't really care if there's like a couple marks in it, but I don't want like a big pen spill because Hermes will not redo the interior of your bag. And this bag did come with the key bell, the lock. I love the lock, the Hermes lock with the little H on it. And then she also did come with her strap. I bought this, oh, and I should say, I bought this from a Japanese reseller as well for a really, really good price because of the wear she's in 2019. I think that the bag was $2,000. Which was quite a steal. I was very happy. Even with this wear, honestly, like, I'm not one of those people whose bags have to look perfect, so I would just put a twiddly on her and carry her out. I just haven't done it because I was like, I should probably take her to the Hermes spa. I wish I could remember the precursor to Swift. So if any of you can remember what that is called, please put it in the comments down below or DM me, because I don't know why my brain has decided that it cannot remember what the precursor to Swift is called. Normally my leather knowledge is quite good, but it is escaping me at the moment as I'm surrounded by all these bags. Okay, I'm gonna move her back there. Next up are, I think, so you've seen one of the last 3 Kelly 32s I have to show you. And it is this bag, which I did reveal on this channel, and you guys will have seen it on my Instagram, is my Kelly 32 in Retourné in Vert France, in the box leather. So this is actually a very, very dark green. You can see she does have wear to her corners. Again, something if I wanted to fix, I would take her to the Hermes spa because she has not had any other work done to her. She also has a strap, key bell, clochette. So if you're looking on the Preloved market at these kind of bigger sized bags, when you're looking at a Kelly, any size Kelly, if it's a full set, as in, like, I don't really care if it has a dust bag or box, but it will have a key bell with 2 keys in it. It will have the lock or the cadena or whatever they want to call it. Also, the clochette can be called key bell. And it will have a strap. I think it's probably the 90s or forward. The super, super old vintage Kellys will not come with the strap. So that is something to consider. Like I said, I think a positive of the Kelly is the strap. So I would consider now only buying a Kelly with a strap, or going aftermarket and going to Hermes and buying a fancy strap. So my only Kelly that does not have a strap is my Kelly 35 in the black box leather. So Vert France. Here, let's see if this will show. Oh yeah, you can see the difference. Haha, success. So this again is black box in the Retourné, but in a 35, and then this is the Kelly 32 in the Vert France. So you can see there actually is a difference there. Because I know a lot of people were like, oh, this really looks like black. It is not. It is just a very dark green, and I love green. Green and blue and red are kind of my like colors when I'm looking at colored handbags. So next are 2 bags that you have not seen. One is I'm very bad. I have had this for a long time, like 2 or 3 years, and I have not carried it. And I really should because I really love it. But I had forgot I had it, guys. This is why I love these shelves, because now I can see everything. And in my apartment, I cannot, but in these I can. And it is this Kelly 32 in blue jean in Swift leather. This is, as you can see, it still has a little tag on it. This is the Kelly 2. It does have that extra little hook right here. This did come with its strap and everything. It's like, this is like barely been used. There's like no marks on there. I think people are just really afraid of Swift. People don't love the 32 size. I do. And you'll see that there's a trend. If I see a color from Hermes that has a contrast stitching, I love it. So Blue Jean has this white stitching to it, and I just love that. Like nothing makes me happier than seeing that beautiful white stitching. This bag was a good deal on eBay, actually from a US consignment store seller called Cash in My Bag. I was looking, I was like, I still have the receipts on it. And this was like $3,995. So it was really close to $4,000, but it came with everything, including its dust bag. The only thing it didn't come with was a box. And I know for some people, like they really want the full set, but let me tell you how annoying it is to try to store the giant Hermes boxes. And I have a full room for a closet. Like this was, when we bought this house, staged as a child's bedroom. So if you don't have a ton of space, having a box is not like world ending. And a lot of my boxes have ended up in the garage, which luckily we have a 3-car garage, but in the garage because I prefer to store them behind me so I can see them. Like the whole point of buying the bags to me is like seeing them and using them. And you don't necessarily get that if they're in a box and you like forget what's in a box. Okay, last Kelly 32, then I have one Kelly 28, and then I have my Birkins. Yeah, I have a lot. A lot. This is my latest purchase to myself. I was very excited to find it. I bought it during a time when, because I'm a diamond buyer on Rebag, I got 20% off. They've now changed that to 15, but so I got 20% off this bag. And when I saw it, I was like, you are beautiful and you are the perfect color to add to my box collection. So this is the Kelly 32 in the Cellier style. So this is my only Kelly 32 in the Cellier, and it is in the Rouge Vif. So it is a very true red in the box leather. I mean, look at that shine. Oh, I just love it. So again, older style Kelly, does not have the little extra hook right there. This did come with its strap, key bell, the 2 keys, the lock, and the dust bag. It's just in really good condition. I mean, look at the corners. Like that's where you're gonna see it, especially a lot on the box Cellier styles, and you do not. There is, let's see if this will pick it up. Yes, you can kind of see it right there. There is a little scratch right there, which again is just something that happens with box leather. It does not bother me, but if it did, I would say honestly, like I have not tried to buff it out at all with like my finger and or just like kind of a buffing cloth, and that does help. It's not gonna fully eliminate the mark, but it does help. So one thing I wanted to point out is the difference. So these are both box. They're both the 32, but look how much bigger somewhat the color and the Cellier looks than the Retourné, and they are both box. So they're the same size. It's just the Retourné with that inside stitching does make the bag look a lot smaller. So that is my newest addition to this entire Birkin Kelly collection. Lastly is my one Kelly 28, who is super vintage. So if you couldn't tell, I love vintage older bags. I don't know why. I think it's I mean, Hermes craftsmanship is still great. As you guys know, I have 2 new from boutique Birkins, and I have a lot of other new from boutique bags that you've seen in part 1. But I really do love vintage bags, and I love a deal, so that I can do both together is like great. And this is my vintage blue, this is navy blue, box Retourné Kelly 28. I am obsessed with her. She is super old school and vintage. How you can tell is the Hermes right there. That just says Hermes Paris, and the new stamps, this is a newer vintage, a newer bag. This one says Hermes Paris made in France, right? Yes. So this is how you can kind of tell like how vintage a box bag you're looking at really is. So she is super vintage, which I think is so fun. She did not come with a strap. So that was a little bit of a downfall for me, but she was very reasonably priced, which the 28 honestly is not. I bought this in 2019 as well, and I really think she's cute. She does have some wear to her corners, which is something that happens with box leather, but I could take her to the spa as well. She is not as old as my Constance, but I have to look at exactly how old she is. She is a Circle C. So I could look that up in the online where you can kind of see like what roughly how old your bag is. But that is definitely going to put her in, I would believe, the 80s, potentially the 70s. But I will put it on the screen because I'm going to go look it up because I'm intrigued. She might be almost as old / just as old as my Constance. Okay, so that is all. I'm going to say that's all my Kellys. Watch me like forget something, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. I don't know how many that was. Should we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 Kellys, which sounds to me like we need one more to make 10. My husband would be like, no, I do not want to see any more of these bags, except he's like an enabler, so he would be like, oh, but that one's really cute, so you should get that. And he pretends like, you know, he hates my handbag collection, but I feel like secretively he enjoys me being happy, so therefore, I guess that's not secretive. So then he kind of encourages me as long as I'm in my budget. I hate budgets, but you know, in your budget. Okay, next we're going to do my Birkins. We will start with the 35s and then we'll go to the 30s. All the 35s I bought pre-loved, all the 30s I bought in the boutique, and I do not have a 25. I am undecided on if a 25 is right for me, just because it is very small. I am very tall, but I do think it's fun. And I would consider, like if I was offered a color I wanted in a 25 instead of a 30 at the boutique from my SA, I would highly consider it. I probably would buy it. I think the 30 is like the perfect size for me, and I actually think the 35 doesn't even look that big on me. So I tend to go a little bigger. And again, the 35 you're gonna find for cheaper than the 30, and the 30 and 25, depending on colors, can be similar in price. So let's start with my first Birkin. This came from a Japanese reseller as well on eBay. This is my Birkin 35 in the Courchevel leather in the gold. So that does mean she has the contrast stitching. Lots of stuffing in here. I'm trying to think, did she come with all of her? Yes, so I do have the key bell and lock, which is the only 2 things that a Birkin is going to come with. Maybe also a raincoat. Kellys can come with raincoats as well. But yeah, she is definitely on the older side. You can see right there, she's got a little bit of like, I don't know what you call that, like not necessarily folding, but she's just an OG. So she does have a little bit of wrinkling. This again was when these were much better priced. I believe this was a 2017 purchase, and so I think she was like 3,000 or 4,000. For a classic color is really great. The wear on this bag is not the corners. The wear is on how someone was carrying the handles without a twilly. So if I do take her out, a twilly goes on these handles for sure. I know people think that's like a lie that the twilly helps, but hand oils are not a joke, especially now that we use hand sanitizer all the time. And then because we use hand sanitizer all the time, we use lotions. At least I do, because my hands get super dry. Next one in the age of Birkins, I think, is this baby, which I don't know if you guys have ever seen. I'm obsessed with this bag. Oh, you will have seen it on a reel if you follow me on Instagram. And this is my blue Thalassa Birkin. She is in a 35 in Trillion Clemence, so she's definitely heavier. I also got her from a Japanese reseller. I really find the best deals from the Japanese resellers, but one thing that I'll say to anyone who's going that route to purchase is not necessarily an authenticity issue, because I've had more authenticity issues with the Real than I ever have with buying on eBay, but is to make sure that you factor into the price the customs and duties, because you are going to be paying about at least 8 to 10% extra on top of whatever state tax you have. So when I purchase these from eBay, eBay charges me the state tax right away, and then from there they do charge you when DHL or FedEx comes to deliver it, the duties. Sneaky. Let me tell you about this one. So I hate when they ship FedEx. FedEx will not send you a bill for your duties until like a month after you have already gotten the bag. DHL will not deliver it until you pay the duties. I prefer to do it that way. I do not like FedEx's way, especially if you miss the little, they literally send you it like via the mail, and if you miss it or you're not there, and then they start adding extra costs onto it because you missed their mail, DHL emails me or texts me. I prefer it. I also have this pillow in this bag. to help keep her shape, which I am really loving. And it has not created any like crazy creases in the bag, which I appreciate. But I love this one. And again, see, sucker. Blue contrast stitching, I am here for. I love this bag. I don't think you guys have ever seen this bag. But yeah, I love this bag. And like I said, I love the 35. I really don't think it's too big. Plus, I like to bring a lot of stuff with me, so works for me. Next, Birkin. You definitely have seen Big Red. This is my Birkin I paid about $5,000 for from Rebag. Again, Trillian Clemence. Beautiful. She is darker in real life than she is showing up right now on the camera. I did get this from Rebag. Like I said, Rebag has really good deals when you do the sales. So just wait for the sales and you can get some beautiful bags. I love her. She was my 30th birthday, no, 29th birthday present to myself. Yeah, because my 30th was my, I guess 30th could be seen as my Vert Cypress, plus I got my Vert Cypress actually the call on my wedding anniversary, which my SA does not know my birthday or my wedding anniversary because I don't think that helps you get bags. Yeah, I know some people really think it does, but I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. I mean, if your sales associate asks, of course tell them. But I do think it's weird to like try to coerce your sales associate into giving you a bag by being like, oh, well, you know, it's my birthday or it's my husband's birthday or it's like, you know, some special day. Like, I don't know. I've never done that, but I do have friends who've done it and it works. So I think it just depends on how you like to handle things. Okay, sorry, I'm rambling. Next, this is my last 35. I have bags like all around me, so I'm trying to make sure I'm showing you guys exactly what is what, of course. So some of these older dust bags that are like the really old style, I don't love, and like they kind of like fall off, so I have a tendency to tie the strings, which makes the bag difficult to get out. But this is my Birkin 35 in the Courchevel leather. This was a more recent purchase from a Japanese reseller on eBay. And this is the Rouge H color, which is actually technically the same color as my Constance, which is behind me in her dust bag. But this is, again, in what used to be Epsom. So it is, the color does show up a little different. This bag I also would like to take to the spa. She has some wear to her handles and some wear to her corners. But, and this just goes to show you the price difference. So when I bought my first Birkin, which has less wear on it, in this same leather from actually the same Japanese reseller, it was like $3,000, $4,000. This bag was, I think $5,500. So just goes to show you prices have definitely gone up and you're getting kind of like less bags since this one does have more wear than the others. But those are all my 35s. I really love the Birkin. I thought I would be a Kelly girl through and through. But I think I almost have the exact same amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 6 Birkins and 9 Kellys. And I think why I have more Kellys is because you can find more deals with them. There also are more box Kellys, I find. And I love box. I have not found a box Birkin yet, but I would totally buy one. Okay, and lastly are my 2 purchases from boutique. This is my Chev, I'm sure I'm not saying that right, Birkin. This is Verty in Vert Cypress with the gold hardware. This was my first offer from the store. The handles are a little, my twillies on my handles are a little messed up. I was just carrying her with her rain jacket on in the rain because this bag is meant to be used. So rain jacket, rain, it happens. I love the 30. I love this bag. Why I have not bought a 30 previously is I just really haven't found a good price point on a Preloved one that was in a condition that I liked and a color that I liked. So when I get offered them from the boutique, I am much more likely to buy them. I'm not sure if I'd buy a 35 from the boutique because I know I can get deals on them unless it was a color I really wanted. And then my latest from boutique and latest Birkin is my Birkin 30 in the Barenia leather, which this bag smells so good in fauve. I'm obsessed with this bag. This bag was brought in as part of a, like, kind of like, not exhibit, but as part of like a promotion, I guess, that Hermes was doing where they brought in a bunch of heritage leather bags. And my SA snagged this for me. So sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize that my camera will only record for 30 minutes, and then even if I have space on my SD card, it turns off. So that is definitely why I split this into 2 videos, and apparently this one's already over 30 minutes. So I was saying that I got this bag. I have not tried to get another bag since from the boutique. I did actually get the 24 mini after I got my Birkin, but I had switched sales associates because my sales associate had moved down to San Diego, and then that kind of wasn't really working out, so I talked to my original sales associate, and she and I have worked out that I can still keep shopping with her. So I'm very happy about that, just because she knows what I'm looking for, and she and I we really get along well. And the sales associate I had been transferred to, super nice, just not as responsive and not as in like, hey Sam, we got this in, I think you were looking for this, which is what my sales associate who's in San Diego does. I'll go down and visit her a couple times a year, and then she also has already been sending me things because, you know, it's me. And that's what I do. I'm like, oh, I want this, and she's really great at finding things. But thank you so much for tuning in to my second part of my Hermes handbag video. My legs are fully asleep. I'm sitting on the ground in front of these cabinets. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know which is your favorite bag. Would you buy a 35? I know a lot of people don't like them. I love them. But let me know, and thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. This video was super requested, so I'm glad I could bring it to you now that everything I can see and is behind me. So if you have not hit the subscribe button yet, please do. I have tons of you guys who watch and don't subscribe. I'd love it if you subscribe. This is my hobby. This is not my full-time job, but I love doing it, and I love handbags. So happy holidays to all, because it's coming around that time, and thank you so much for tuning in. See you in my next video. Bye, guys.